In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a travel agency's role in planning your destination wedding. So if you are having a wedding in a location like Mexico or the Caribbean, stay tuned because this video could end up saving you time, stress, and even money. You might be thinking that travel agents died with the dinosaurs, that it is just something your grandma used to use back before the internet was even invented. But I can assure you that travel agents still exist today. And in fact, it is a thriving, exciting industry to be in for clients who want a curated travel experience. This rings true especially with destination wedding clients, as they need to figure out how to get an entire group of people from their hometown all the way over to a different country. They need to ensure that all their guests have a seamless travel experience, and they also need to be able to coordinate sometimes multiple events during their personal trip. So let's dive in. With regards to booking your destination wedding group travel, there are tons of factors at play that can land you somewhere on a sliding scale of difficulty. How big is your group? Where are you flying from? Where are you flying to? Are you going to an all-inclusive resort? What is your budget? What is your guest's budget? What do they consider is a reasonable price to spend for your destination wedding, for their stay in a hotel at your destination wedding? Ultimately, when you pick that hotel, is it a hotel that sells out frequently? Is it a very popular hotel? Do prices for rooms at that hotel rise through time as the hotel gets busier and busier? Is it a very high demand hotel, as we see quite often with destination weddings, because one big group can come in and book out an entire section of that hotel, causing inventory to be very limited. So there are a lot of factors at play, and a travel agent will assist you with all of that. So when you first start planning your destination wedding, you might feel like that there's all these moving components and you don't really understand how they all fit together and form a timeline of events. So here is a high-level overview of the planning process that we see happen with the average destination wedding. And I'm going to go through this explaining where the travel agent fits within this. So at the very beginning, we have some couples reach out to us and they have no idea which resort they even want to get married at. Some people don't even know which country they want to get married in. They are thinking Jamaica, Mexico, Dominican Republic, they're all over the map. So we go through a list of qualifying questions with those people to find out what is the most realistic location that's going to be suitable for all of their must-haves. This is a tried and true process that I use with every couple. And while some people, it takes a little bit longer for them to find their dream resort, everybody in the end does. So if you're in this part of the process, just hang in there. It is pretty much like the hardest parts to navigate. We also have a lot of people, wedding couples, who reach out to us and they've already selected their wedding resort. So the next step, once the person has their wedding resort, is to request a quote for that hotel. And the quote needs to be within a specific time frame. So if you're pulling a quote for rooms at a resort and you don't have an idea of your wedding date, then the price could be very different in September than it would be in February. So the other important thing when you're pulling a room block quote is to know which resort it's for, or resorts, and also which dates. Once we get that quote back, it will show the pricing for the various room categories available at your wedding resort or your desired wedding resort. And it will also show the promotions, if there are any, that are available to the wedding couple at that specific resort. Once you are happy with this, you love your resort, you love your wedding venue, we would secure your wedding date with the hotel. So your travel agent will reach out to the hotel on your behalf, make that introduction, and facilitate this whole process for you. With the wedding department, you would also pick your wedding package. If you have specific ceremony locations, reception locations that you're wanting, you would also reserve those if possible. At the exact same time that you secure your wedding date, we recommend that you secure your room block reservation. This is for groups where we know that there's going to be a minimum of 10 rooms. We typically, at most resorts that cater to destination weddings, recommend that you do organize a room block reservation. This will hold the rates in place for your guests, so you will not see rate prices rising through time like you would on the hotel's website, and it will also access you, the wedding couple, with any promotions that are available. Promotions that we see at various hotels for destination weddings in areas like Mexico and the Caribbean could be complimentary private functions, complimentary room nights, which are often awarded as cash credits. Just depends on the hotel that you end up picking and what the corresponding promotions are for that time frame. So once we have secured your wedding day, secured your room block, then all the heavy lifting is done, and we can really start to think about the fun stuff. So our travel agency provides each of our couples with a specific wedding website where guests can go onto that wedding website, they can book their room, they can make payments towards their room if they would like to do so, they can organize various forms of transportation to and from the airport, whether that's shared transfers or private vehicles. Everything is done via the wedding website. So you would create your guest list and then save the dates out, directing your guests to your wedding website. So once your guests are, starting to book their rooms, we would keep track of all of their reservations and send you your guest list periodically. And at this time, you can start doing the really fun stuff, which is like vendor selection. Are you going to be having parties beforehand? Or are you going to be looking for various outfits for your bridesmaids if you're having them, or your own wedding dress? All of that fun stuff, you can start doing that now. And while you're doing that, your guests are selecting their rooms. Any questions that they have about the hotel or about the process, go via your travel agent. So you, the wedding couple, never has to actually worry about if, your Uncle John's room comes with a hot tub on the balcony. That is a question for your travel agent. And believe me, we get tons of crazy questions from guests. It is just not something that any wedding couple should have to deal with. So usually around the 3 to 4 month pre-travel is when we start to wrap the group up. Depending on the size of the group, we request that your guests have their final payments in by this date. And at this time, we provide you with a very organized guest list. And this is a super important part of the process, because it is only at the time that you receive your guest list that you can start really budgeting and preparing for your wedding day details. I'll say that again. It is only at the time that you have received your final guest list and you have an accurate guest count that you can really start finalizing the details of your wedding day. If you have a specific budget, if you have items that you want for your destination wedding, but they are contingent on whether 100 people attend or 25 people attend, you need to know how many people are committed. So at that time, usually about 3 months before travel, we are able to provide you with that guest list, which is everybody who is guaranteed to attend your wedding. And you can start now planning the details of your destination wedding. This is all done basically with the wedding department. So things like menu, decor, all those little details. Are you going to have a dance floor, a DJ, a violinist? All those types of things are starting to come together. And then of course, time goes on, you will eventually travel, and at that time, if there's any promotions like complimentary events, complimentary room nights, those come at that time as well. There can oftentimes be some confusion, and I think that it's just in terms of the titles of the different people who are working on your wedding. So here is a slide that breaks down the roles of the travel agent versus the roles of the wedding planner. So your travel agent will make your group booking, they will facilitate any promotions that come alongside your group booking, they update your guest list and book your guests into the resort, providing you with that guest list throughout the process. They also organize transportation to and from the airport for your guests and airfare if need be. They provide in-travel communication as well as communication throughout the entire process, liaising with all of your guests and with the resort's groups department or any tour operators that are involved with the booking, so that you can have a seamless experience and all of your guests can have a seamless travel experience. The resort's wedding department, on the other hand, books your wedding date, they organize your events, plan your wedding day details, price out any wedding packages or incremental add-ons that may be coming alongside your wedding package, and then they will often facilitate communication with on-site vendors if you select that method of booking photographers, videographers, that type of thing. So I hope you enjoyed that video and found it helpful. There is so much more to talk about. I encourage you to reach out to either myself or any travel agent out there who can help you navigate through this process. We all really just care about everybody having a great experience with their destination wedding.